All right, so today we're going to move on with 11.4, and we're going to talk about specifically just normal distributions, and I'll just kind of go more in depth with those. So it says, describe each term as much detail as possible. So a normal distribution is our bell-shaped curve. And so the big idea with this is it's going to have this shape to it, meaning that our mean and our median are located here.
If you're on the track team, please head out.
All right, sorry about that. So our mean and our median are in roughly the same location here because it's because it's normal. So we have this shape to our graph, clumped in the center, trails off a little bit towards each end symmetrically. Most naturally occurring things are normally distributed. Everything we're going to be talking about in 11.4 and even into 11.5, we're going to talk about things that are normally distributed. And when you know something's normally distributed, what can you do with that information? What does that allow you to know? What does that allow you to make assumptions about, to predict, and so on, which actually is really what statistics is all about. And so if you kind of like the stuff we get into over the next few days, the statistics class, that's what this is all about. So if you're looking at your scheduling, maybe next year, maybe future years, statistics class talk about this stuff, but much more in depth, okay? And then we have what's called standard deviations. So if you remember, we defined this as the average distance from the mean. And so this is when you have a set of a bunch of numbers and you calculate what the mean is. If you calculate on average how far each of those numbers are from the mean, that number is the standard deviation. And so the way this works is as the standard deviation gets smaller, so a small standard deviation means the data is going to be clumped together. So a really small standard deviation is probably going to have more of this shape. A really big standard deviation might have more of this shape. And they both can be normal. It's just a matter of how tightly clumped or how more spread out the data might be. So small standard deviation, large standard deviation just causes more spread to the data as the standard deviation gets bigger. So we're going to use both these when we get talking about notes today.